Welcome. Strictly Hoops with CJ Miles. We're excited to be here on the Yahoo Sports YouTube channel. Just so you all know, CJ and I, we do this show on the Yahoo Sports Canada YouTube channel devoted to Raptors, but we're going to be extending ourselves. During this time, we got ourselves a 17-year NBA vet in CJ Miles. So let's talk about the playoffs, right?
That sounds crazy.
17.
That sounds crazy. It's half
Sounds
my
good.
life.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing to hear, but at the same time, it's like, man. Funny story, not to get off track. Funny story. I had so I've been working with some of the girls at UTSA, the University of San Antonio's basketball team, and one of the girls on the team we were talking about, because my brother is an assistant coach there.
Yeah.
And I guess the girl was like, because I just stopped playing a year and a half ago. Like I did the G League stint, I had the 10-day with Boston, whatever. She was like, wait, like last year? I was like, yeah. She was like, wait. She's like, I thought you were old. I thought you finished playing like 6-7 years ago. I was like, wait, what? I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's that much of a disconnection from like a college freshman to me.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And I was like, that's my first real, like, man, you're getting there. Anyway.
We're going to talk about one game on every single video, and today we're going to devote our time to that Nuggets and Suns game. So the Nuggets win 97-87, and real strong right off the top, CJ. How did the Nuggets pull this off?
The first thing we say is Jokic, right? Like, it's the first thing we say. We say the guy who's probably going to be a 3-time MVP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though another conversation for another day, what Boogie Cousins was saying about him being a 3-time MVP and being put in a certain place, I do understand that. But we're looking at where we're at right now. Maybe it'll change that conversation. But that guy is 31, 32, 17, and 5 for the series, right? In the first 2 games. And he just figures it out, right? Like he's such a threat offensively. He shot 48% from the 3 over the regular season this year, which is absurd. Obviously, it doesn't take a lot, but that's still every other one. So you got that aspect of his game coming into the playoffs. Makes mid-range jumpers, passes the ball so well from the mid-post. Those guys moving and cutting. So when you're guarding them, you're kind of like hands up for the pass, hands down for the pass. And this time he pump fakes, he shoots the off foot. Running off the whatever you want to call the shots that he takes, right? And he just creates this havoc on the defense, because you're trying to see him so you can help, but you can't help because he's the best passing big, maybe. I mean, clearly in the last whatever amount of years, and he's gonna go down as maybe the best passing one ever at some point. If we look, especially if we look at numbers wise, right?
Sure.
We can talk about the eye test and flash, like the big Sabonis and all the guys that did it. But like when we talk about numbers and being effective, he's going to go down as the one, right?
Sure.
But I think he just breaks you down over the game. He scores 26 in the second half. The game is it's pretty much a close game, and obviously, like you got. Michael Porter Jr. doesn't have, his best game. Jamal Murray doesn't have his best game.
Yeah.
So if you think about those guys, obviously it's hard to say that, but you think about those guys making some more shots in the first half, it gives them it's even a more different game, and it doesn't have to be a dogfight through the whole thing. But then we can also say KD didn't make any shots, so like we can look at it both ways. And none of those guys make threes for Phoenix yesterday. KD's 2 for 12. Devin Booker has a great game. He's had a great playoffs, 4 for 8. But like 6 for, I don't know what from 3, because the other guys, they usually make a couple. Torrey Craig, Cameron Payne, Damian Lee, those guys are all over. So the game's got both sides. That
is a problem, man, for the Suns. It's a real problem.
Especially when you're going to have Devin Booker, Chris Paul, if he returns from his groin injury, and KD doing all the ball handling. You guys, they're committing 2 to the ball. They're blitzing, pick and rolls, doing these things. You're going to have to make shots. And DeAndre Ayton's going to have to catch and finish. DeAndre Ayton has a better game yesterday. Those other guys got to make threes.
Definitely. And with Jokic, I mean, for sure. And with Jokic, I mean, like you're deciding how you want him to beat you, and they're deciding that, okay, we're going to make sure. And they were very forceful with their defense. They were really good yesterday, but the amount of possessions where like they do everything perfect, then just like Jokic turns around, hits a shot from the free throw line, and there you go, right? And that's just the nature of Jokic. Like, you just want to make sure that if you eliminate the 3-point opportunities from the Denver Nuggets, you have a really good chance, right? You make it a 2-point battle, especially with the Suns when they're not hitting a lot of threes.
Yeah.
The 2-point, like, you need to make sure you're going with the math the right way. 3 is more than 2. And so if you limit the 2 or 3s, you're in a better spot.
Because if we're going to stop him, like you said, like you get we're gonna go 2 for 2. I got 3 of the best 2-point getters in the game on my team. So like I'm if we're gonna play that game, I got more of a, like you said, the math works out. But like you said, I also am gonna want Jokic to do more work at scoring than playmaking, because the scoring is gonna make him work harder. He's gonna have to do more. Then we're gonna try to make him guard. Maybe we can wear him down. If he gets to just kind of be at that high post and pick us apart, saving the juice in his battery until he gets to turn it on, makes it a little harder. And we've seen him in the playoffs get tired.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen before. Like, we've seen it be a thing. So if that's the way I'm going to go at him, I'm going to tell Aiden to be as physical as possible and just make it hard on him. If he scores 40 and we win, I don't care. But he can't have 30, 37, 17, and 9. Like,
and he was better. He was better.
He was
much better.
I'm not picking on him. I'm just saying that's what I would say. Yeah.
Just like Monty Williams after the game, in game 1, Aiden apparently had said that he was a bit embarrassed about his effort. And so he came out and he hustled. And like, man, when you're facing Jokic, like, he's going to get his, but just do your best, try hard, compete. And he did that. And with CP3 now, like, the groin injury really was a factor in this game, but also we're going to see how things go for the rest of the series. When they eliminate that third option, that pick and roll with CP3 and Ayton, you lose that. Now you're putting so much more pressure on Devin Booker and Kevin Durant to score the ball. And CP3, when he went out, like, he was on a little bit of a run himself. He was hitting those mid-range shots. He was making the pick and roll. He was making Jokic work. It was all good. And you could see Ayton, now you're engaging him as well, but they lose that. And then we see the fourth quarter, like, I'm looking at the stats now. Fourth quarter, Devin Booker shoots 2 of 8. Kevin Durant shoots 4 of 10. And we got to give our credit to KCP and Bruce Brown. They were making those guys work.
Those guys have been great, man, for that team. Like, even Bruce Brown offensively has grown so much this year. Like, you see him making threes, doing the things he's doing. But, like, defensively, they both they just make the right plays. They make timely plays, deflections, blocks. Even on the other side, offensive rebounds. KCP makes a couple threes in a row at certain points in the game.
3 in the fourth.
Bruce Brown
in the fourth.
Bruce Brown catches lives, run outs, whatever it may be. Like, they bring so much to the table energy wise, and they're feeding plays. They're plays that feed the arena, the team, the morale. Like, they're those type of plays. They're guys that you want to see succeed.
Yeah. There was a situation, 86-81, 3 minutes left, and Okogie had a slip to the basket on a pick and roll with Devin Booker, and he found DeAndre Ayton. The next play around, it was cool watching this happen, is that instead, this time around, KCP and Jokic, they switch momentarily. So now Jokic is covering Devin Booker, but then as soon as Okogie clears out, then KCP switches back. Right. And then that what eventually led to Bruce Brown getting the block on and Kevin Durant. And there's Aaron Gordon, who we got to talk about as well. He's in help position. He's there to offer distraction for Kevin Durant. And then the block happens. We got to talk about Aaron Gordon. Maybe we do it now. That it's incredible that he is now their backup 5. He's bringing the ball down the court. He's playing multiple positions. And then there's, of course, the cutting, the slipping to the basket, the rebounding. It's all been very, very good for Aaron Gordon so far.
He's just grown so much, right? We were talking about it before we started the show, like his evolution as super high flyer, not that he's still not, like in Orlando, young, exciting, to like opening up his bag to try to be the guy to try to turn that franchise around, and then adding all these things to his game, and then getting traded and goes to a really, really good team with the guy already, and just learns how to play. And I think it shows to show that guys will, even with coming from the position he was in Orlando, averaging what he was averaging, doing what he was doing, guys will settle into a role to be on a good team, to win, if it makes sense. Because we're talking about a guy who probably could have been an all-star this year. And, yes, his numbers could be higher, yes, but would he be where he is right now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I think that him getting to go that route allowed him to be able to do what he's doing right now. To be like, all right, we trying to win now. Like, what do I need to do? I got to defend Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, play back up 5, be a little bit better playmaker, take my mid post opportunities when I get them, but it's not gonna just be go get yours now.
Yeah, sure. So Devin Booker, I mean, the fourth quarter I mentioned he wasn't the shot making wasn't there necessarily, but before that, very good. He's been good for the entire playoffs. His shot making has been ridiculous. The pace of it, the shifting of gears, the array of ways in which he's hitting shots has been so fun to watch. But then also on the other side, Kevin Durant, he hasn't really been able to find a rhythm. Like it's incredible that we're critiquing a player that, you know, in game one, he had like 29 points on like 60% shooting. But there is still the need that, you know, especially when you lose the game, there is a need. Okay, well, what's next? How can we get more out of him? And, you know, fourth quarter, again, as I said, 4 of 10 for Kevin Durant in game two. He seems a bit out of rhythm at times. Like he's not really getting the shots that he typically is getting because Devin Booker is that option. And happily Kevin Durant is, you know, being the second option, but it's an adjustment for a player.
Yeah. I mean, and I think it's more so that that Devin Booker is so dominant right now, right? Like he's playing so well, making the right decisions with the ball, even with his passing and the play calling and whatever he's seeing on the floor. You see him pointing guys around and doing what he's doing. So I think it takes you can get out of a rhythm a little bit. I think KD's good enough to figure it out. Like I don't think this is a thing that lasts. Yeah. I think yesterday he got good looks. He just didn't shoot the ball really well. Like he took 12 threes. He got a bunch of catch and shoot ones that you saw him miss. One of them he banked in. Like I don't even last time I see him off left bank a three. You know what I mean? Like the guy like that's so talented. And I think you figure it out. And I think they put him in some other positions. Maybe get him to his spots a little early so he can see a couple mid-range ones go in, the things he likes, and then it kind of like flow it into that way because it's Devin Booker's figuring it out. Like he's taking what the defense is giving him. He's got it rolling. So maybe like they make sure that Kevin's got a little bit things going and Devin can keep doing what he's doing. And Devin's going to have to make more next game anyway if Chris Paul doesn't play. So it's really going to be on Devin to see.
100%. Yeah. We're going to get to game 3 in a second. I wanted to ask you about Jamal Murray and, you know, the shots that, like, clearly when I talked about the differences in the defense that the Suns were offering is that it was more imposing. It was very forceful. They were eliminating Jamal Murray. There were lots of blitzing. They were taking him out of the pick and roll. And it got to him a little bit, but in the end, like the shots that he was missing, a lot of those wide open, you know, transition threes, like he'll probably hit those in game 3, right? That was a rough game for him, but, you know, I commend him on his effort in the fourth quarter, especially. Like he found ways to help the team win. And Michael Malone, the timeout leading into, or the media interview he did leading into the fourth, he said, you know, he's not shooting too well, but I'm confident he's going to find a way to help us win. And he did.
And that's so you can ask for your guys, right? Your top guys. Like, because remember, before the injury, we were on the way to this being Jokic and Jamal. Like this wasn't going to be so lopsided. Like he was turning a corner that was showing everybody. Like I think I saw a quote from the other day. He's like, I don't know what else I got to do or how many times I got to do things like this for y'all to believe in my game.
Yeah.
And I'm a believer in his game. I think the injury just set the vast amount of eyes back a little bit. But like the Hoopers know. And the people that are locked into the game and really watching know that you saw over this year how much he came back to being what he was before the injury. You see his confidence growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And I think he's a player. He figures it out. And I think that's a thing that's gonna have to happen for him to go on and win a championship. It's gonna be nice like that. And that's the next part of his step, right? Because he's such an offensively talented guy. So for him to figure out not making shots and okay, I'm gonna make some passes, I'm gonna make some plays, set a back screen, do whatever I gotta do. That's the next evolution in this thing.
He's not going to go 0 of 9 from 3, I think, again in this series. So now the Suns, they head to game 3. They're down 0-2. You don't know if Chris Paul is going to be playing. I mean, what's Monty Williams contemplating right now? Because the discipline defensively from the Nuggets, like they know exactly what they're trying to do, and everyone's on a string in that way.
I got to find a way to get that energy from my second unit guys like we got when Chris Paul went down in the playoffs last time.
Yeah.
How to get Cameron Payne playing with stupid amount of pace, high pick and rolls, just pushing, attacking, guys catching and shooting. I got to figure out how to get that energy into those guys and get them playing. And granted, we know no disrespect, but the not the top tier guys, they pretty much travel well. But most guys, your bench guys, your second tier guys, tend to play better at home. Sure. Especially they tend to shoot the ball much better at home. Sure. Not saying there's not any guys that haven't shot one in a row, but these guys, just comfortability wise and opportunities, because they come far and few between, the energy's different. And like you said, we down 0-2 coming home to our crowd. Like, that game 3 is a beast. Like, and everybody knows this for both sides. Like, they know, Denver knows they're getting a haymaker thrown at them, and Phoenix knows they have to throw a haymaker.
Definitely. Yeah. Because
even if they don't win, if they lose game 3 and they win game 4, still we got to go home and we're done. If we go home, we could be done. So, like, this is such a pivotal moment.
We're going to see an unbelievable performance from Devin Booker, I'm sure. And Kevin Durant, I mean, I just want to see another great KD performance.
I think we're going to see
these playoffs. Yeah, I think so.
I think we're going to see. I think because this is a space where great guys respond. This is what they do. Like, we just saw one do it to close out a series. This is what great guys do. And Devin Booker's, he's playing at a level right now, but I think Kevin Durant's looking at this thing like, he knows what I just said about the haymaker, game 3, the pivot.
Yeah.
And if I'm Denver, I know that coming home. Like, I think we got to figure out some things to be prepared in case we got to do some doubling or some things for him.
100%. So, CJ, that was a fun one. We will check in with y'all later on this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Which game? I don't know. We're going to find out together which game we're going to cover. But
they're all fun right
CJ.
now.
Like and subscribe, everyone, to the YouTube
push
channel.
The
CJ,
button.
Close your thoughts. Yeah.
Push the button. Every button you can push to like and subscribe, to come follow us, come mess with us, man. We have real good basketball talk. And it's 100%. Fun, man.
This was fun. Thanks, y'all.
Appreciate y'all.
We'll see you.
Peace.